Aldi's and found all the ingredients there. So let me show you what I found. Sliced provolone cheese, 2 packs of cream cheese. I use salted butter. Recipe calls for unsalted. You could do it either way. I prefer the salted. Goat cheese and cheesecloth. I have my recipe out, and then I found this brand, the Prano. This is the pesto sauce, and then this one looks really great. It's called the Rosa pesto sauce, so I would use that in place of the sun-dried tomatoes. I always make some modifications to the recipe depending what ingredients are on hand. I notice here the recipe calls for the 5 ounces of goat cheese. The pack that I bought, this one here, is a 4-ounce pack, so you can just go with a 4-ounce pack. This isn't science, so you can have a little more, a little less. I find the goat cheese actually can be a little overpowering, so I like to go with the 4-ounce size. The recipe also calls for a 1.5 sticks of butter. I probably will go ahead and just use the 2 sticks of butter because I like it nice and creamy. And also the recipe is calling for pine nuts. I don't use those at all because the 2 bottles that we're using, the pesto sauce and the sun-dried tomato rosa sauce, are already into pesto form. I always use my KitchenAid to mix this. I like to use the paddle that has the soft side. So easy peasy, all you need to do is add your 4 ounces of goat cheese, the 2 packs of cream cheese, which is 1 pound, and I put the 2 sticks of butter into the food processor. We're going to turn it on and let her go. Of course, it's always better if your cream cheese and butter are softened first. Here we go. I like to keep a spatula on hand to scrape it down. So it just should look something like this. I like to take my spatula, take down your sides and let it spin again. Next, I cut the cheesecloth into squares. Now I do like it to be able to fit down in the pan and then have enough when I fold it over to overlap the top of the torta. So you want to maybe cut it a little bigger than what you think so you have room for overlap. First you'll want to dampen the cheesecloth, and then you're going to lay it out into the pan like so. And then I like to put 2 pieces of cheese to make a nice little form around the edges and press it down. So it looks something like that. You want to press in a couple spoons of cheese and layer it in. Add a spoon or 2 of pesto and spread that around to layer it in. Like so. Next I slice a piece of provolone cheese, and you're going to layer that on top of the pesto. And then you're going to add another layer of the cheese. Put in your cheese and spread it down. The next layer of the cheese mixture, you're going to add the rosa mixture. Same thing, just put a spoonful or 2 and spread it. Add a slice of provolone cheese. Press it down. And you're going to continue layering, alternating the pesto, slice of provolone cheese, cheese mixture, the rosa, pesto, etc. Ending with provolone cheese and pressing down. I like to put the cheesecloth over top. Give it a little press, and I do like to see like the juice or the oils coming through like that. It gives it a very pretty color when it's finished and formed. So then I would just press the cheesecloth down, and it's going to be good to go in the refrigerator shortly. I was only able to get 1 layering of pesto and rosa sauce in the bread pan, so I'm going to go with a little deeper one so you can see an alternate method. I'm going to use this ramekin. It's a little bit deeper, so we'll get more layers, and it's really pretty too when it comes out round. So same thing, you're going to put in your cheesecloth, and then I'm going to take my provolone cheese and just push it down in. So this time the provolone will be covering pretty much just the top, which is fine. Next, a layer of cheese, and then you're going to press it down. Sometimes it's easier to just lightly press it with your finger. I don't press it too hard, just enough to get it in the pan, because when it's all done I give it a hard press. Added a scoop of pesto, then we're going to layer another slice of provolone. Push that down into the ramekin, and then we're going to add the rosa sauce. Add a layer of the cheese mixture, then the rosa sauce. Press down another layer of provolone, another layer of cheese, and then we're going to add the rosa sauce and spread that around. I like when it goes all the way out to the edges because it leaves a little color bleeding through the cheesecloth. Ideally, when the pan's the right size, I really love it to come out with the pesto layer as your last layer on the bottom, so starting with pesto and ending with pesto. Layer of pesto, and then I'm going to add my one last layer of provolone cheese. And then just begin to fold up your cheesecloth. Yes. John's asking if I need more provolone. I'm going to run out. Alright, I folded all the cheesecloth over the top, and I usually like to just give it a press down so it's tight to the ramekin, and then we'll show you how to put it in the fridge. So it looks like this batch made 2 round ramekins and 3 in the little bread pans. So I'm going to zoom in here. You'll see the cheesecloth will absorb the oils from the pesto and the rosa sauce, which is good because when you unwrap this, it'll make it quite colorful. Okay, so we're going to cover it with plastic wrap and refrigerate. Have you ever had it happen when you're pulling off your saran wrap that it comes undone? The thing's broken, so John's holding it. Here's what they look like unwrapping them. I'm going to zoom in here a little closer so you can see how much the cheesecloth has absorbed up a lot of the oils and makes it quite colorful. Alright, so we're going to take this out of the ramekin. I have to give it a little bit of a pull to get it out. You just want to very carefully unwrap your cheesecloth, like so, and sit it on the plate, and voila, how beautiful. Now we're going to cut it in half and see how beautiful it is inside. I had to cut in the other one too. Let's get a little bit closer. I like to serve it with more of an Italian style cracker like the bruschetini. And voila! There you go. I have to crack up because the other one we didn't even wait for the crackers. Enjoy!